Shoto's with you. Perfect.
Dabi.
Hey, now don't be rude. You're acting like we've never
What is that?
met.
Gasoline? No.
Call me.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's React. I'm Kenny and this is my beautiful wife, Montana.
And today we're going to be reacting to Season 6, Episode 11 of My Hero Academia, Dabi's Dance. All right.
What could this be about?
This sounds fun. I love a dance.
Oh, Montana, you sweet summer child. She has no idea what's about to happen. She is not prepared for this.
I do feel I'm being naive.
Not going to say much this intro. I'm just going to...
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to see what happens there, but if you're excited for more episodes of Season 6 of My Hero, make sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe down below, and be on the lookout for episodes every Friday and Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't wait and want to see these episodes right now, they're all posted to Patreon in their extended full-length forms, along with episodes of the other shows we're watching, Jujutsu Kaisen, Solo Leveling, Hazbin Hotel. All right, are we excited for episode 11 of Season 6 of My Hero?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.
Dunderheads. This video was brought to you by the incredible members of the Let's React Patreon. If you want access to a ton of exclusive perks, check out the link in the description below. Have a good day, Twinkle Toes!
Faster. I want to be there within 5 minutes.
I'm trying, but it's not like I'm Hawks or Miracle. I'm pushing this thing to the brink already. You shouldn't even be standing. We're happy you're back in the field, but you're still recovering.
Don't change the subject.
What is happening?
What matters is that countless lives are being
Why?
unraveled
How is
as
Best
we
Jeanist?
speak.
Please take care of yourself, too.
Is that his plane? Whose plane is that?
That was Best Jeanist there, and last we saw him, he was in a body bag being delivered by Hawks to Dabi.
I mean, did we see him, like, for sure dead?
We saw
like,
a body that
definitely
looked
dead?
exactly like Best
It looked
Jeanist.
like him, and he looked dead.
And Hawks delivered him to...
That's what we know for sure.
Hawks the double agent delivered him
Hawks the
to
double
Dabi.
agent. Okay. All right. All right. So maybe it's like the person in the body bag who looked like Best Jeanist was not, in fact, actually Best Jeanist and just looked exactly like him in kind of like a Toga type power so that Dabi would trust Hawks. Obviously without Best Jeanist dying.
Yeah.
It gives him credibility.
We will see, but your favorite, Best Jeanist.
Hell yeah.
The man you love.
He's back. Denim King.
Yes.
It wasn't stolen. But
Great news.
Shigaraki, please.
Bad news.
Stay down.
They're just falling.
Yeah. Oh.
Todoroki caught all of them.
Bakugo, Midoriya,
Very impressive save.
Endeavor.
They all got stabbed in the...
He's still alive.
How is everyone
calm.
fucked?
I'll
Oh
patch
my
you up.
god.
I thought Bakugo
How?
might have been straight up dead.
No, Tomura. You must
Oh.
leave. Don't do this.
Shut up. I don't take orders from you. Damn it.
Oh.
A gigantic villain is headed this way! We've already informed the heroes fighting
Oh, boy.
Nobu nearby!
So they're here.
You're here too, Ida? Get Midoriya and the others to safety.
This is... No wonder you guys never returned.
I need to stay here. I can't leave. Shigaraki wants my quirk. He'll follow me if I run off. You go, Ida. Take Kachung and Endeavor.
He's not healing near as fast as he was. He must be weakening. Hado, help me. Let's put pressure on him.
Nejire and Todoroki are taking the lead.
All right.
Wriggling to the surface.
Okay, fine. But
So, how do you feel about
Wow.
their chances against Shigaraki now?
Unfortunately, I'm not super confident.
He looks pretty messed up.
He does look fucked up, but he looked pretty fucked up before and then also did so much damage and Like, no one really looks, like, completely fine for the heroes.
That's true. Except, like, Ida and Nejire and Todoroki. They're, like, newer on the scene, though.
Yeah.
All the people that were fighting are mixed up.
To the surface.
Okay, fine. What I want to do is save as many people as I possibly can! And you're in my way, Himiko Toga! So I'm gonna have to stop you right now!
You tell her.
Sorry, but I'm way stronger than I was last time. I need to touch her without letting her steal my blood. And I can't take too long. What do I do?
Oh, Chuck.
That's kind of a terrible combo.
Yep.
It makes me want to become that person. To live inside of their skin. I want to drain
All right.
their blood so badly
Therapy.
it makes my chest hurt. That's just who I am. I can't help it. But not everyone is like that. It's so hard to be me! The other day, there was this meanie reporter who called me a poor lost child and tried to kill me because she said my cravings weren't normal. That's why I used your blood and your quirk to drop her and her friends from way, way up high.
Oh, no.
It turns out
Yeah,
if
remember
I love
that?
a person, I
Yeah.
can become them and use their power. You have no idea how
Crazy.
happy that makes me. Stop it!
When finding out that someone did awful stuff with your
You're
powers.
happy?
Yeah.
I
Tough
would
to
never
wrangle.
feel good about hurting another person. What are you even trying to get at?
What's this?
Guess.
You must have dropped it, friend.
Gift from Izuku.
That's mine!
Something precious?
Give it back!
Jean was precious to me too. Like a brother. You know, we're the same, you and me. Because I'm pretty sure you've got a massive crush on Izuku too. I put it together a long
that
time
part's true.
ago. Hold on. Does this thingy belong to him? Oh, Steve, we really are twinsies.
I can't spend any more time on her. If I attack head on, she'll dodge. So... Zero satellites!
Oh, wow.
Float a bunch of objects.
Yep.
Focus! I have to shut out every other feeling!
Great. Neither of us has to hold back anymore. When I was little, everyone said I had to change. But that didn't help at all. Ignoring your urges makes them worse.
Enough! Threaten people so you can do what you want! And you deserve whatever's coming to you!
Oh. Why did
There's my
that strike a
answer.
nerve?
That was the answer to the question.
Thanks for the chat. Goodbye.
Saying if you do bad things, you deserve it.
Rocky!
Why is Himiko Toga here? So, I've told you, you can't call me that.
That's froppy to you.
My friends sometimes mess up my name, but you can't even say it.
It's a sneak attack. Back to back, we'll cover each other.
Don't worry. She ran away.
All right.
Yeah, I got her answer, and now she left.
The girl I share a crush with. I thought maybe we could bond over romantic stuff, but
Those were tears.
It's a great way to make friends.
Middle of the battle.
coming back home.
Those were tears.
I'm not confused anymore.
He's here.
All right.
Ah, perfect timing,
Oh.
Machia. Between the blows from One for All and Endeavor's flash fire blast, Tomura's body could fail at any moment, I'm afraid. Which is why Rivet Stab is extending from his spinal cord. Its auto-tracking should reduce the burden on his mind and body. What
Like he has a
precarious
skeleton holding him up.
situation we find
Right.
ourselves in. We must give Machia the order to retreat. We
can't fight that behemoth and Shigaraki at the same time. Best to take the injured one off the board first.
What fearsome quirks they have. Surge. Half cold, half hot. This body is crumbling and they aren't letting up.
100%! Virulent blood! Magic ray blood!
Love getting to see Netherray go hard.
Yeah, right?
Flash fire.
My God.
And now they're in the same
That's
spot.
right. Shoto!
Put me
Perfect.
down, you fluoride robot. Put me down.
I can't. Your organs were punctured.
I need a complete victory.
He's still going.
Can we maybe prioritize things differently?
He's out of battle mode.
Okay.
For that whole.
All right.
What's the next order?
Okay.
Shigaraki, what happened? You look terrible.
Shoto, you good?
Not responding.
He's just out.
Sorry, Hawks.
Okay, they did say his body was about to quit.
I must defeat him. No matter
The ice
what
on his
horrors
shoulder
he
is very
turns out to
cool.
be capable of.
An ice chip on his shoulder.
I'm not sure I can damage him much with every breath I take as hell.
So instead, just watch what I do.
I can't give up. I promised them. As this country's top hero, I have to keep fighting.
Hey, there you are. From all the way up here, everyone looks like tiny little ants. Shoto's with you. Perfect.
He brought the League. Dabi.
Hey, now, don't be
Oh.
rude. You're acting like we've never
is that?
met.
Gasoline? No.
Call me Toya. After all, it's the name you and Mom gave me.
Are you kidding? Oh my God, the blue fire. Oh, pause.
No.
New reports suggest that the radio interference in Jakku City has been getting worse. Our correspondent can't say exactly what...
Sorry to interrupt. My name is Toya Todoroki. The number one
Holy
hero
shit.
is my father. Yeah, I know, my face is pretty disgusting now. But it's still surprising my own family didn't recognize me. It's honestly kind of crappy. Or maybe it's just depressing, you know?
I thought you three were close, so I figured you would have
Insanity.
told them all about Toya.
It's not exactly an easy subject to broach.
Wait, he's...
Yes, the so-called villain sitting in front of you is Endeavor's oldest son. At the time of this recording, I've killed more than 30 innocent people. Are you confused?
okay.
Let me just explain how I turned out like this. I'll start at the beginning. Endeavor has
You had
always
no idea.
obsessively yearned for
No.
power. Much to his despair, he could never surpass All Might on his own. So he forced my mother to marry him in an attempt to create an heir with the perfect quirk. I was bred for my father's selfish dream.
Broadcasting this
Wow.
But it
nationwide.
didn't matter. I was a failure. It wasn't long before he gave up on me and I was cast aside and forgotten. I didn't forget our family. I've been watching you from the shadows this entire time. You know, out of everyone in the world, you should be beyond reproach, number one. And so a pre-recorded video of my life story is currently streaming on every device in the country.
What an unexpected
Wow.
twist.
Oh man,
You could say
Took the
that.
words right out of my mouth.
I'm starting to have fun. I wondered how I could make you suffer, how I could ruin your life. Ever since I burned up, it's all I've thought about. As a kid, I didn't know why I existed. I clinged to Natsu, bawling my eyes out. But you
His hair used to be red?
At first, when I realized your little puppet Shoto was complete, I figured I'd kill him. But then you unexpectedly became the #1 hero! Who would have guessed, huh? I was suddenly so invested in your happiness. Can you believe in Kyushu I was actually afraid you were going to die? I let Star Servant an ending to your doorstep. Did they make you feel like a big shot? Must have been a heavy burden to achieve your dream after so long. But you were soothed by public admiration, weren't you? Is that why you finally decided to try to bond with your children? Just keep looking towards the future and you could be a better man? What? Nothing to say? Well, allow me! The past never dies. You will reap everything you've sown! Enji Todoroki, let's fall together! Come and dance with me in hell, won't you? Well, speak up, Dad!
We're gonna stop right there for a second.
Wow. Hello.
Dabi is Toya Todoroki.
The oldest brother.
Yes.
Holy shit. I can't believe Endeavor and Todoroki didn't know. Crazy to find out with the rest of the world and also just to like have that realization.
And the fact that he's been here this whole time just doing stuff.
Just being very active in the League of Villains.
And on my rewatch, there are so many moments where Dabi talks about Endeavor and he's like, that guy sucks. Or he'll be like, oh, can you not bring Endeavor next time to when I test my Nomu? Like, oh, like he sees Todoroki in the camp and is like, oh, Shoto. But anyway.
Wow.
Yeah,
interesting. Okay, wait, and the other thing, okay, that I'm so curious about, I don't actually think Shoto's gonna feel this way because I think it's gonna be pretty clear to everyone that it wasn't his fault, but the idea that this like unbelievably powerful villain's inciting action was you living up to your dad's standards. As soon as Shoto was like good enough for Endeavor, that was like really what set things off for Toya or Dabi to know that he was such like an integral part of that like domino effect. I don't know. Interesting to see what Endeavor is gonna, you know what, it's actually completely not about Shoto. I mean, I'm sure he'll think of it because it would be hard not to, but also for Endeavor realizing, wow, if I had just parented my children like they're my children and not like they're different investment accounts to decide who is like the best chance of making it big and then put all your eggs in that one basket. Like if you had just been normal with it, none of this would have happened.
And then how about airing out Endeavor's dirty laundry to the entire nation live on TV?
That part actually didn't bother me at all.
Well, I
thought that was fine.
See, this is why I was interested for this episode, because I think you're going to have a very interesting perspective on what's happening, but we'll see. Let's keep watching, but yeah, keep an eye. Yeah, Dad! Quite the plan he had.
Wow.
Cold,
all right.
Windy day. The air was dry. Toya and I often trained on Sokoto Peak. That's where he was consumed by fire. The flames raged at over 2,000 degrees Celsius. We were told that his bones must have turned to ash, scattered far and wide in the updraft.
But this is where the burns came from.
Was found.
They thought he died.
We only recovered a small fragment of his jawbone.
Oof. Oh, his jaw.
What's happened to your hair? Huh? It's turning white.
Nuh-uh. I'm not old.
Did you dye it?
No, I'd never do that. Forget about my hair. It's time for you to teach me
It wasn't always blue.
I could see that Toya's firepower held greater potential than my own, but he wasn't born with my wife's frost quirk. This posed a problem, since he couldn't keep himself from overheating. Despite that, I wanted to raise him to be a hero. At the same time, I I continued to hope for a child who could harness both fire and ice. My wife wanted Toya to have siblings as well. That's how our family grew. Fuyumi only had Rei's frost power. Another Todoroki who wasn't my ideal. At the time, I was fine with that. Toya continued to show more raw talent than I ever had. So I placed my hopes and ambitions on his shoulders.
Too hot!
Normal thing to do with your kid.
I was certain that you could find the success I always wanted. My frustration and jealousy, my disgrace. I thought you could smash through every one of my failures and be the best of the best. My son is dead. These are disgusting lies.
Oh, I'm very much alive. You're just a broken man who refuses to accept the truth. How could you not recognize your child? Is it because fire quirks are so common there's nothing special about someone who has one?
Wow, Dabi, I had no idea.
Yeah, I wonder what he's playing at here. He hid this from us too? What for? Come on, boss. You gotta wake up. We're here. Machia needs
They didn't
orders.
need to know.
Pull it together.
It's pretty huge.
Has dramatic lineages.
If you doubt me, I'll happily give you some blood or a chunk of skin. You can do a DNA test. Obviously, I've already done one and I released the results to the public. This here is an official paternity test. I used the blood Endeavor left in Kyushu as my sample. He's a 99.99% match as my father. You might think I fabricated this, but all I can do is say what I know to be true. Endeavor continued to make my mother have kids. Their fourth child is someone you probably know. With Shoto, he finally found his hybrid. Not that that stopped my father from abusing the child. I saw it over and over again. Endeavor is not a man who cares about other people or their well-being. He's self-righteous and weak-willed, consumed by
The brother. Now
Do you really believe someone like that has the right to call himself a hero?
It's not true. Who would believe a stunt like this? These lies won't make us lose faith in number one. Does this bad guy think we're stupid or something?
Those working with Endeavor are just as bad. Take the number 2 pro, Hawks.
Oh.
Got the photo of
He
him.
didn't hesitate to drive his blade through the back of a despondent opponent.
Dabi took
Hawks
a picture.
murdered my friend right in front of me.
It was hastily edited, but the end result was quite powerful. You should be impressed.
Stellar work. Those cameras of yours got some great shots, so I'm glad the rest of the world got to see them. And
Took a
now,
video of the whole
allow
thing.
me to give you a gift. I did some digging on that bastard spy of yours.
Hawks.
In order to get us to trust him, Hawks murdered one of his peers. He killed the number 3 hero. Best Jeanist is dead. Since violence is essential to a pro's life, Hawks is comfortable with blood on his hands. It's something he was exposed to early on. His father committed serial robberies and murders.
So Dabi did his research.
Kept his past and his real name hidden. Kind of funny that his old man was put away by mine. I don't know if that's fate, or if Endeavor naturally attracts damaged people to his side. But I do know he must be stopped. He can't cover up his appalling behavior by calling it justice. He really claims to be a hero? He's tricking the whole world! The thing I want you to realize today is that these heroes only protect themselves! You're being used! These disgusting people treat you—
Oh, that looked like Cheyenne.
only protect themselves! You're being used! These disgusting people treat you as tools for their own self-affirmation!
Oh, look, boy. People are gonna believe him. He's telling the story first, so there's no evidence against it yet. Even if everyone knows that guy's a villain, it doesn't matter. Sorry. I've gotta bail. I don't want it to be true, man. But look at how much damage
Can he
these
hear
heroes
all
have
of
done
it?
lately.
He's just imagining it.
Oh, okay.
The people watching this are gonna freak out. He's already won.
Thank you for living long enough to see this day! Endeavor!
I looked for you everywhere.
Damn it! He's fast! You ready, Dad?
I believed you were alive.
Protect Midoriya and Bakugo! Hado and I will hold them off! Snap out of it! Protect them! Please! We'll deal with this later!
Very interesting.
Big flash fire.
Prominence!
Oh boy.
What the? Sorry I'm late.
No way.
As of this moment, Best Jeanist is back.
Hell
Look
yeah.
what he did.
Oh my god. Wait, yeah, can you pause it on that screen?
Yeah, look at Best Jeanist.
Holy shit.
Bound up Dabi, completely immobilized Gigantomachia. All him.
That's unreal.
Do they have some kind of plan?
He's number 3 for a reason.
Yeah, but he's doing things that number 1 couldn't do.
He's more situational, but when he's in a good situation, it's
a good situation.
And he brought those bolts and dropped, dude.
Very smart.
One of my favorite entrances in this show.
Yeah. Especially because they just like publicly announced like everyone like Hawks killed Best Jeanist. This will, from like a PR perspective, it's very good for the heroes because, I mean, someone literally just said like it's so good because there's no evidence out to disprove him yet. So as Dabi's talking, there's nothing for people to be like, wait, that's actually not. But now there is, because he's like, oh, he did this horrible thing. He killed Best Jeanist. And it's like, there's literally Best Jeanist right there. What else are you lying about?
Pokes a hole in the logic.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, in addition to stopping him from doing a prominence burn on them.
Yeah. Separately, just like as a little
signature move.
Oh my god, so crazy.
Yeah.
And disrespectful.
I'm sure you have a very interesting opinion on it. We're going to discuss it further, but thank you for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you're excited for episodes coming every Friday and Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't wait and want to see these episodes right now, along with episodes from our other shows we're watching, check out the Patreon link in the description below, where they're all posted in their extended full-length forms. We have a lot to discuss, but before we do that, where are we headed?
All right, let's review.
Thank you for watching. For now, we're going to go to questions given to us by our incredible Patreon members. If you want to join the community of over 4,000 on there, check out the link in the description below and start asking. For now, let's go to question 1. Crazy episode, right? So
karma's a bitch.
Yeah. While it's fresh in your mind, I'm gonna go ahead and ask, like, what do you think of that whole Dabi Endeavor interaction?
Wow.
Really, just the whole reveal, everything.
I am so curious to know what happened in between him being lost in that fire and then whatever.
And the Endeavor couldn't find him.
He couldn't be found. So I'm very, very interested to see kind of why after, okay, so obviously he was very injured in the fire, but he was not killed. So at some point he healed enough to get out of the forest, or someone took him, and then he healed to a certain point. Why would he not then go back to his family? What I was thinking is the way that Endeavor and Toya were communicating in that scene right before Toya disappeared and was presumed dead, the way they were communicating to me didn't seem like a parent who's like deeply disappointed in their child and a child who thinks they're a failure. Like, we heard,
like, he was being supportive of
like we heard Endeavor say like, oh, he wasn't like exactly what I wanted, but he did say like he had more potential than I ever did. So he wasn't, he was like,
yeah, he was pushing
in that moment. Like, it would be one thing of like Samwell Tarly in Game of Thrones, where his dad was like, either leave or I'm gonna hunt you down. Like, we're gonna send you into the woods and I'm gonna hunt you down and kill you. If he had been with Endeavor and when Endeavor was like, go burn that down, like, or like, go do this or I'm gonna burn you down. Like, you're gonna get lost in the woods and don't come back to the family because you're a disgrace. Like, that kind of thing. But that wasn't the situation. Nope. So I would like to know more.
Yeah, but any other thoughts on that whole situation?
I have so many thoughts. I can just talk forever.
I'll go to the questions now. I'll
okay,
go
cool.
to direct them. And it's funny because I'll mention a while ago, I was like, does he remind you of like Zeke Yeager? And you were like, yeah, like it's the same voice actor. Yeah. Then it occurred to me, I was like, oh, a long lost brother that worked for the other side and then came around and like...
That is some brutal typecasting.
Yeah, like, hey, we need you to play a really bitter older brother.
Hey, we need someone who was exiled from his family and then kind of went off the rails.
And then...
can you do that? We know you can do that.
The sacred power that he wanted was passed down to his little brother instead. And he's pissed about that and wants to burn down everything about the little brother's life, except for instead of like metaphorically burned down, let's make it actually burn.
Yeah.
But...
That seems like it's in your repertoire.
Yeah. All right. I have a lot of questions. We're going to do rapid fire answers because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions.
Hell yeah.
Okay. HBomb24 asks, was Dabi and Toya something either of you saw coming?
No, not at all.
Did not see that coming at all.
Years. No.
No, but I will say in the second watch through, it's been fascinating seeing all of the breadcrumbs. That they definitely foreshadowed it. Yeah. So it was definitely the plan the whole time. But wow, crazy reveal.
Very cool.
And there were many times when you were like, what's his quirk? And I was like, I mean, it seems to be blue flames. Like I would emphasize the blue when in reality I was like, it's
Endeavor quirk blue.
Like, I really thought the fire quirk might have given away for you, but it didn't for me either. But anyway.
Yeah.
Question 2.
There are so many flame-like quirks.
Question 2. Katsuki Bakugo asks, Dabi's never been shown to show strong emotions to anything, but here he seems elated when revealing that the entire world now knows Endeavor's sins. What does this say about his mental state? How will Japan react to the new information about Endeavor, and what do you think Endeavor's mindset will be after everything sinks in?
It's so interesting. I'm obsessed. Okay, so the idea that like we've seen him do all this horrible stuff and like, I mean, he's obviously doing it because he wants to, but he was still pretty like nonchalant while he was doing it. So to know that the singular thing that would bring him joy is to know that the world was seeing his dad the way he actually is.
Like he was dancing.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely can't express how good it feels and how fun it is to just talk so much shit about my dad, because he was the fucking worst. Like he was really, really genuinely the fucking worst. Never said it to him. Only really figured it out before he died, or only really figured it out after he died / came to terms with it. But even when he was alive, criticism was like, not acceptable. So to be able to sit here and tell everyone, yeah, he sucked. He really, really was just awful, especially when everyone was so obsessed with him and thought he was so great. And you know, same thing with Endeavor.
So you
I get it.
So about his mindset,
that was the single thing that would bring him joy, is knowing like that's the greatest feeling.
Yeah.
When the person who has caused you so much harm has this infallible image and you've never been able to kind of even like just put a crack in it, and then all of a sudden you can, like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so freeing and empowering, and just like, it's the best.
Yeah.
I've danced as well.
What do you think Japan's reaction is going to be to that?
Oh, I think they're going to be stunned that he's so different publicly versus privately. I do think there's going to be quite a bit of like, oh, well, he's a villain. Of course he's lying. So I think people are going to be looking for ways to write it off. But I'm hopeful that people kind of begin to question how great of a guy he actually is.
We'll see what that does. The #1 hero. But let's go to
another question.
Well, and then there was what do you think Endeavor's mindset will be after this? Because he was just standing there as he came down.
So curious. He was stunned because he thought his kid was dead. I mean, okay, so I think it's going to come in waves. Part 1 is relief that your child is not dead. Part 2 is, why didn't you come back if you were fine? Like, if you didn't die, you just became evil before you showed up at the house. And then guilt of, oh my God, like, I raised this horrible person. Like, this is my child and he's awful and a villain, and that's my fault. And then, oh my God, PR nightmare. How am I going to salvage my reputation?
Yeah, we'll see how all that goes. But let's go to our third question. Saw Meadow asks, do you think Shoto could have turned out like Dabi if he didn't have people in his life to show him a better path, especially considering how cold he was at the beginning of the series?
Oh, totally. Yeah, 100%. Not a doubt in my mind.
Really? You think he could turn out to be a villain?
Yep.
Yeah, if not for the heroes, but that shows you the difference in like who helped out who. Like with Dabi and with Shoto. Let's go to our next question. A Happy Cat asks, do you think Dabi has gone too far to be safe?
I think, unfortunately, yeah. Him confessing to having killed 30 innocent people. Not that, like, it would have been one thing if he had just said he killed 30 people, but to publicly announce that it was 30 of them and they were innocent, I don't think you can, like, unbecome a villain after you revel in killing innocents. I am curious to find out what happened to him in between the fire and him becoming Dabi. What happened in between the fire and when we first met him in the League of Villains and he was like introduced as a new character? Because I feel like something else must have happened to him. Yeah, my inclination is, yeah, it's too far.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question, but let's go to our next question. Next question, DDB asks, with all the death and destruction that Gigantomachia caused to dozens of cities and people, combined with Dabi's grand expose video on Endeavor, and the reactions we've already seen from the Look Boy and his friends, like the pink-haired kid who was cheering for Endeavor, where do you think Heroes and public perception of them is heading? Do you think they could make a recovery, even in the best-case scenario of stopping all the bad guys at the end of the day?
Yeah, okay, so I think it's going to be really bad, because even though the people we saw watching the video were like big fans and they were trying to deny it and say like, oh, there must be something, like there must be some mistake, there must be someone's lying, like how can this be? So even if people don't go like fully like swing the opposite direction of like, okay, like over on this side heroes are the best ever and over on this side like they're the worst and they're terrible, even if people don't end up like all the way over here, realistically, the only thing they need is for people to not have full faith in the heroes, because that's like symbolically, that's what's keeping society together. It's like broken window pane theory, where like if there's an abandoned building and none of the windows are broken, no one will touch the windows. But the second one of the windows breaks, within the next week, every single pane of glass will be broken, because the perceived ability to break rules without consequence and the idea of like, it looks like people are breaking rules around here makes people want to break rules. It's crazy. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's go to our final question. Ren88 asks, given everything we have seen about the Todoroki family, Natsuo seems to hate Endeavor the most, mainly because of Toya's supposed death. How do you think the revelation that Toya lived but became a villain will potentially change the relationship between Endeavor and Fuyumi and Natsuo, if at all?
Oh, I think it's going to make it worse. I think the idea that from Natsuo's perspective, he, before this moment, was thinking, wow, my dad is so terrible, and he was so terrible to my older brother and got him in a situation where he died.
Like he took him out, his perception is he took him out training, they trained too hard,
and he died.
Too much fire went out and he died in the training.
Yes.
And that was
so like,
fault.
Yeah. So, you know, you're a terrible parent at home and then you took your child out training and then they died. So that's enough of a reason to hate your father. But to know that Endeavor was so awful to him that he like became evil, like Natsuo knows the person he was before, like that was his older brother. And so to know that whatever damage was done by being raised by Endeavor was enough to turn someone from the Toya that Natsuo knew to Dabi, that's worse. That is so much worse.
Huh. That's just not the opinion that I had.
I don't know. For instance, okay, if you had a dog, saying, like if someone had your dog.
The rest of them also were going through that with Endeavor and they didn't become villains.
But oldest sibling. And then they don't know what happened like in between that. But I still like if you found out that someone like took your dog and then was doing something with them and then the dog died, like that's awful. But the suffering is over and it's kind of like there's like a bow on it. That's fucked up. But like, the situation is complete. Whereas if you found out that someone took your dog and trained them to do this horrible, horrible stuff and had turned them into a monster, that's worse. That's worse than having someone kill your dog.
We'll see how the reactions go, but also last little question, how about that best Jeanist entrance there?
Fabulous, great news. I'm thrilled. That was a very cool move, very cool entrance.
It's literally so
glad
cool.
He's back.
And
Yeah.
like using that, like trapping Gigantomachia like that is crazy.
Especially when like everyone has been trying. Like that's like been the big thing for like the last several episodes, and everyone's trying and no one can do anything. And like even the most powerful people are like the most powerful people who are able to like actually apply their quirks in that moment are like Mountain Lady, where she can just slow him down, just like give them a little extra time to prepare for that. It was very cool. Very, very cool, Best Jeanist.
And I'll let you know the next episode's name, Threads of Hope.
Oh, because jeans.
Yes, and
great news.
We'll see how that goes, but are we excited for episode 12 of season 6 of My Hero Academia?
Can't wait.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.
All right.
I'm gonna make a grilled cheese.